So this weekend was great. Just an update on where I am at the moment. I went over to the Yes to Life conference in London. It was great. It was a bunch of very informed integrative oncologists, along with a lot of other people that are actually patients at the moment. And it was great to sort of have a to and fro and then look at all the new stuff that's coming out. And it was highlighted many times throughout the day that research and protocols that are coming out now, new stuff is coming out every month. So if you are someone that's suffering, or you know someone that is suffering with cancer, make sure that the people that you choose to work with, I think the take home from this that we went to on Saturday, make sure that the people that you're working with are currently working in cancer, and looking at all the integrative approaches that can help complement or hinder your treatment, whether that's chemo, immuno, radiation, or none of them. Or if you're trying to recover from chemo, radiation, or immune therapy, what sort of stuff you should be doing. So I work a lot in this field at the moment. Unfortunately, it seems to be becoming very like a regular occurrence on a daily basis now. I get a lot of calls. So all the stuff that we talked about. So I learned about a new machine. There's only 2 in the country at the moment. Hypothermia. That was brilliant. There's one down in London. This guy, very well read, talking in depth about what supplements, what herbs work, hinder chemo, radiation. And then he also has this amazing machine. And the research on this is brilliant. It basically heats up the tumour. In short, obviously I'm not an oncologist, but yeah, he was explaining in short, it heats up the tumour, makes it expand, and then that makes the tumour even more susceptible for the effects that you want to have from the chemo, the radiation, or the immuno. It works for all of them, or it helps, I should say, work with any of those modalities. So that's really good to know. There was a brilliant lady, so fascinating. She was talking about the importance of releasing trauma. A lot of people with cancer do hold a lot of trauma, and it might be past trauma. And as she highlighted, no one wants to talk about trauma. So taking mushrooms in a safe place where you feel comfortable can sort of bypass a lot of sort of the talking therapies. When the talking therapies are done on their own, sometimes it takes a long time to get to where you want to get to open those trauma memories. Whereas this, basically, it's very rapid, and this is what we need. If we found out we've got cancer, we need to try and rapidly release that trauma and get it out, because it could be the trauma that is driving the tumour, for instance, or triggering stuff that's going on. It might not necessarily just be, we can't just look at one pathway and go, okay, we need to stop eating sugar. We need to look at all the pathways. We need to look at the glutamine pathway. We need to look at trauma and inflammation and cortisol. We need to look at what's going on in the gut, what's driving inflammation. And it was just so interesting on not her view. Like, she's been doing this for years. The research papers are amazing on the fact that we should maybe be integrating. She's trying to get it legalized. In the UK, it's legalized in a lot of other countries. And that was a great lecture that she put on. There's another guy, a guy called Mark Sean Taylor. Now, he is a cancer survivor himself. From what I get, he's very knowledgeable on computers, tech, and research. He's a big researcher. So what he's done, he's made a library that you can get into, and then you can then go, right, I'm going to search for i.e. breast cancer, and efficacy of specific chemos. That was just me making an idea up there. But basically you can put that into his search engine and it will bring up all those papers. And then you, as clients, can then go to your oncologist and say, I found these papers. Do you think that this would be acceptable for my form of cancer? So you're feeling more informed about what your choices are. I think that was brilliant. There was also a lot of emphasis on the day about things like breath work, releasing trauma that way, calming the nervous system down, looking at vagal tone. So again, if you start improving your parasympathetic nervous system, or the ability to move into the parasympathetic nervous system, you're again helping calm the nervous system, reduce inflammation coming from stress hormones, aid healing, aid digestion of nutrients that you really need. So that was good. And another emphasis was, it was seen in studies that people that had maintained hope, positivity, had community, a good sense of community and love around them, all showed higher signs of a better immune system. And as such, they seemed to fly through, sail through, probably not quite the right word, but, find their cancer treatments easy to cope with and with a better outcome. So hope, community, working outside, being grounded, breath work, these are all things that we should be integrating into our naturopathic plans, our oncology plans. So just to sort of overrun, I had a great weekend this weekend, learned loads, and I feel more confident than ever on what supplements I can and cannot encourage people to take whilst undergoing chemo, radiation, or immunotherapy. So if that's of any interest to anyone, I do write personal plans. I do help you with this sort of thing. I know that when you get in this position, it's very overwhelming. Every friend, relative sends you a list of what they think should be really good or what they've heard has worked for someone else. And then you end up in this position where you have so much information thrown at you. You don't know which way to go. It's all very overwhelming. I am someone that would come in and you speak to me, you give me all of that, you dump all of that information onto me, and then I try and make sense of it for you. And then we make informed decisions together on what you should and shouldn't be taking, what the doctors will and won't allow you to, what would be a good idea to eat, and lifestyle changes, things like hyperbaric, things like infrared, things like blood tests, functional gut microbiome tests to see where you are, your status right now, and then how we can improve it. So no one plan is the same. Everybody's different. Everyone's cancer is different. Everyone's cancer journey is different. So if you want to get in touch, my details are on the website. You can always book in with me on a free discovery call just to see if you think that we are a good fit, if you think that I could help you. If I think that I'm the person for you, or if I'm not, I'll probably be able to help you find somebody else that is, and direct you. Have a great Monday.